Hey, Intro to 2D art friends, it's Mrs. Herbay. I just wanted to create another quick video for you as we move on to the next part of our project. You can see here in my sketchbook, this was the first part of our project where we created our mind map. Here's my mind map. I have several themes that I identified, and then what I chose to do was to fully develop my gardening theme and think about all of the things associated with that. You guys may want to choose one theme and develop it, or some of you I know are kind of using images from a lot of different themes that you identified that that tell us about you. Over on this side is now, this is kind of the visual reference or doodles that I created associated with sort of my brainstorm or my mind map. I demonstrated some of this in class for you guys. You can see sometimes the doodles are really simple, like this is a flower with a smiley face, and it's just a very simple flower. Here I created a couple different variations of flowers that maybe are a little more, have a little bit more detail. I created some different styles of potted plants. I have different versions of a rabbit. I have different versions of birds, just to kind of help you guys see that you can create doodles in a variety of different styles. I have here some clippers that are like clipping at a rose bush. I have a wheelbarrow, a garden hose that's kind of spouting some water, a bat, a silhouette of a bat, a snail, some vegetables, a sun. This was kind of one way I chose to draw a sun, but you can even choose to doodle a sun just in the old traditional way of a circle with lines coming out of it. I just put the smiley there, but you can also just leave it plain. This was a version of a tree that I drew. It's a little bit more detailed, but you could also simply just draw this and we know that it's a tree. Okay, I've got some leaves, a rainbow, clouds, etc. So once you have sort of a nice collection of doodles, then what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of the doodle shapes, images or shapes associated with your theme, and you are going to create a template for that. So I chose, because my theme is gardening, I decided to choose just a simple leaf shape. And so what would happen is you're going to get a piece of tag board, which is at school and which we have in the art room. And on this piece of tag board, you will start to sketch whatever shape or outline of the image that you chose. You want it to be something somewhat on the simpler side. Like I could choose this sun, but if I drew the sun, I would just draw it like without obviously the sunglasses and the smile. Here, I'll do it up here so you guys can see it. I just might trace a circle template and then make these lines around it and then end up just cutting out this shape here without the circle inside. Okay. Some of you I know are having trouble coming up with one particular image to use as a silhouette, and if you want to, you can either choose you could choose just a simple geometric shape like a circle or a square, or you could even do like your initial, like my first name initial is H for Heather. You could just do a block letter H. Well, you guys wouldn't do the letter H, but whatever your first name letter is, you could do. That's another idea. Okay. So on this piece of tag board, what you're going to do is you're going to draw your image, but you also need to figure out, well, how big am I going to draw this image? So my piece of tag board that I'm going to create the finished project on, the size that I chose is 9 by 12. So this is, it's sort of, it would be the size of a page in your sketchbook. All right. And so what you're going to do is you want to draw the outline of the image not as big as this piece of paper and not as wide. So maybe just slightly a little bit smaller. So what you can do is this piece of tag board is also 9 by 12. So that's good, because then what I can do is, as I think about drawing the shape of a leaf, I can kind of say, well, I want to come down about this far and leave some space over here and maybe come down about here. So if I put those marks on my paper, that kind of tells me about what size I want to make my leaf. And then what I can do is I can just go ahead and start to draw it. And I can think about, well, maybe I'm just gonna kind of lightly sketch it out like this. Then maybe I kind of want to go over here like this. Maybe I want it to come down a little bit like that. And then sometimes what I like to do is kind of, after I get the initial shape, I might want to revisit it and just play a little bit with the outline of it. This is one that I created earlier, and it's about, gosh, it's really pretty similar to the one I just drew, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is, after I draw this, I am going to cut it out, okay? So what you want to do is you want to draw the outline of it, get it so that you like it, and then you're going to cut it out. All right, guys, for the next part, I'm going to take this template that I've created, and what I want to do is I want to kind of center it in the middle of my paper, and then I just want to hold it down. And the nice thing about this tag board is it's nice and stiff, so it will allow you to kind of easily trace around the edge of it. Just kind of holding it in place, and voila, there is my shape, okay? And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your shape, and I'm going to slightly move it to the right. So I'm going to kind of take it and I'm going to shift it over to the right a little bit. Now, when I do that, I can also shift it sort of, if I wanted to, I could shift it a little bit down and to the right. So I'm kind of like shifting it a little bit like this. So it fits kind of in here like this. And then what you're going to do is you are going to trace around the part that is only included in, so the only parts, I'm going to stop where this ends here, then I'm going to stop there. So now all I can see is there's just this part here because it's shifted down. And then I'm going to shift it again. So now I'm going to shift it down and sort of to the right again. So now I've done it like kind of like that. And then again, I'm just going to trace around it and stop where the outer edge. So now you can see there's 1, 2, 3 of these. Okay. And then after you do that, then you will start to draw your doodles around just the outside part. We're not going to worry about the inside of this shape yet at all. The next part is just starting to draw your doodles all within this outer edge here. And so what you can do is you can just start to choose a doodle and figure out where you want to put it and draw it. Let's say it's cool if you sometimes want to overlap your doodle with the edge of this. So the way that would work is, let's say I'm drawing this sun here, and I only want to include part of the sun. So I draw part of my circle, right? And then I'm also then just going to draw the part that's showing, okay? And then again, this part that's showing, and there. So that's kind of how it works if it's coming up against the edge of this, all right? And then you'll just start to, and maybe I want to have some lines coming off of my sun, and then you'll just start to draw other images as well. So maybe here I want to put maybe I want to do, I'm going to position a cloud here like this, and then maybe I want to have and then maybe on this side. Okay, and then you'll just keep going and you'll keep drawing your doodles. You can also overlap your doodles. So like, let's say maybe right here, I'm doing one of my potted plants. So I could do, again, I would only draw the part that's and see how that's kind of like right there. So it's kind of behind the rainbow part. And then I'll just draw my stem up and draw this. And I don't like that quite as wide as it is, so I'm gonna and there's my flower. And then I want to do a leaf coming off the side. I'm going to put my veins. Okay. And there we go. And then I'll just keep going. Maybe I want to have this dragonfly coming up here like this. So I'm going to draw that. And again, his wing is a little bit covered up by the rainbow, and that's okay. And then this wing kind of comes down, curves up like that. And there's my dragonfly. And then maybe I want to put like a beetle here. So I'm going to draw that. I'm going to erase these lines right in here. Okay, and you guys get the idea, and then I'll just keep going, all right?